Hello everyone, it's Outrider here and welcome to another week in toys. Today is Tuesday the 19th of September, and as I said in last week's week in toys, I've got a whole plethora of toys that I picked up over the last week or so. Yeah, it would have been a long one last week, so I split it up into this week so I can give the toys the love that they deserve. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a couple of eBay purchases. And the first one is not Galvatron here, but this Darksaber. Now, I picked up the top part and the bottom part of the Star Saber at TFN this year, and I was missing this middle part. Is his name Runway? I can never remember these ones. I know that one's called Sonar anyway. But yeah, I was missing this one, and I've been watching on eBay ever since TFN. And there has been a couple on there. This probably cost a little bit more than I wanted to pay. This cost me £10 for this one. Found it, fell off. As you can tell, the connections aren't the best on some of these things. But yeah, this cost me £10 to finish the Darksaber. Now, in fairness, I only paid £3 and £3 for this one at TFN. But I did already have this one, and I bought this one twice at TFN. So it's probably cost me actually in total about £16, which ain't bad because I think the Darksaber was going for about 30 quid at TFN. So being a little bit patient has been pretty good, and I think it looks quite good on Galvatron here. I did used to have the Megatron version of this on display, but I've swapped that round since the Evolution version come out, so just a little bit different there. But Galvatron here is wielding the Darksaber. Now, I did pick up another lot of Minicons, which I've got here, and these cost, I think it was £10, I think, for the lot of them. But the main reason I picked it up was one of the Minicons completed another Saber. So, being wielded here by Energon Rodimus, and the reason why I put this in Energon Rodimus' hand is I didn't realise this is an Energon toy. This is a retool for Energon. So I think the only Energon figure I've got on display is Rodimus, so he can now wield the Energon Saber. I picked up the first two parts of this again from TFN for £3 each, I think they were. And Sonar here, the handle was actually in this lot, and it was the reason why I bought this lot. So yeah, I wanted to complete another Saber, and I'm only actually missing one part now, and the frustrating thing is my original Star Saber here is missing Runway, I think it is, on the top. And yeah, unfortunately, this is one I had from when I was younger, when I was about 20, and I've lost that figure. I haven't lost many of my Transformers, but that one has gone missing, unfortunately. So, and I can't find that anywhere. So if anyone has got the top part to this for this particular Star Saber, let me know. But I now have the Energon Saber complete as part of that lot. So that probably cost me less than a tenner. So that's really good. I think that was 35 at TFN. Now, the other figures in the lot actually weren't too bad because I haven't got a lot of them. There was another Darksaber Sonar here who is missing his legs. That was in there, bit of a junker, but never mind. There was also one of these, missing the gun on top, but I have a set of these, and this particular figure is really loose on the set that I've got, a complete set. This one is nice and tight, so I'm going to swap the part over and have a nice minty fresh Minicon there. So that was pretty cool. Even though I knew I got it, it is a bit of an upgrade to the one that I've got. There was a Junker in here as well. This is part of Overload, or Overload, I can't remember, I think it's Overload. Completely battered this thing is. It's missing an arm, it's missing the legs and the back piece, but nevertheless, this figure goes for a fair couple of quid, and who knows, I might find the pieces somewhere one day. As well as on that, I don't know these names, but there's this little tank guy whose turrets move when you roll the bottom. I had this in a different colour, so it's another Minicon I haven't got. Same story with this one. I'm trying to try and complete this set. There is a police car, I think this is a fire truck, and a like a helicopter plane thing. I've got the helicopter. I've got this in a grey colour, so a different colour, but I haven't got the police car, so I might look at getting that police car next to complete another little set of minicons. I'm trying to get the minicons little sets now. It's quite a fun thing to do. And the final one in this set was, I think this is Long Arm from Red Alert. This particular is from the Powerlings version. I haven't got the Powerlings version. I have the Universe version that was like kind of like a blue. But yeah, I'm going to probably look at completing that. And it's cool to get the Minicon before the figure, because it's a lot easier to get the figure cheap than the Minicon cheap, if that makes sense. So all of those include about, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, as bad as Tony, 7 things in that set. Yeah, pretty good for I think it was a tenner plus postage, so that wasn't bad at all, was it? Something I didn't need, but Shooty told me about, and as soon as I saw it, I wanted it, was I think this is Henkai, Takara, is it Takara version of Classics Hot Rod. I have my original one here that I bought, I think from a shop called Hooties. When I wasn't really into Transformers, but I saw Hot Rod and Cyclonus and I picked up Hot Rod. But yeah, you can see this is a Takara repaint of this figure. You can see that there is a different colour face, different decals, all that kind of stuff. Both of these figures are really, really nice. In fact, I was having a debate with Shooty the other day about, is this one of the best Hot Rod moulds that we've got? And I think it is. I think obviously Studio Series 86 is the best animation mould, but actually as a toy, I think this is pretty solid. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't sealed. I think it was I got it for about 20 quid, including postage. It's really nice. It's nice to see the lovely Takara paint details on these things. Yeah, really happy to have that. It's a lovely toy. Then randomly, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and someone was selling a sealed Transformer literally down the road from me. They wanted 4 quid for it. I paid him a £5 because he had no change. But I'm happy I got it because it's a really cool figure. It is the Earthspark Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. It was sealed. It was a £5, and it's worth it. It's a nice figure. I had the... Oh, God. What was the drone's name? Twitch. I had that, but I sold it because, she's a cool character and everything like that. But I didn't need them. But actually, I kind of have a Megatron and an Optimus from every single incarnation of Transformers series. Apart from, actually, I don't think I've got a Megatron from Cybertron. I did, and I think I got rid of it stupidly. But, yeah, for a £5, this is pretty cool. Really like the gun sculpt, like the axe. The transformation's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little bit hollower than a mainline, and yeah, this particular leg is a little bit floppy and loose. But for 5 quid, I can't really moan. It's a pretty nice figure. And actually, if you can get it for sub £10 in the sale, I really recommend it. And he does come with, is it Dr. Meridian? The bad guy? I think that's his name. His leg, which is probably going to go to me mate Luffy. I got bought a little present, which was nice. I got bought Megatron here from the Gamer Edition Studio Series. And this figure has been... It's got a lot of criticism online, and it isn't perfect, right? It is not perfect, but to me it works. It's all right. It doesn't deserve the critique that it's got. I think it's pretty well filled in. There isn't a lot of spaces. It's got panels in the arms, which is great to see. Yeah, the fusion cannon's a little bit lackluster, but that works for the Orc mode and is also pretty screen accurate. The mace is pretty cool. It would have been better if they'd made it so... I don't know if you can actually do it this way. You probably can't, can you? That you could do it like that, basically, but you can't. So maybe there'd be some third-party add-on thing for that. Who bloody knows? There probably is, isn't there? The most annoying thing about this is this sculpt, and I'm sure everyone spoke about this, but you see this little tab here that serves no purpose. It actually prevents the leg from bending beyond that point, which is bonkers. I've seen some people trim it off. I'm not going to bother trimming it off on mine because, you know what, I can still get it in a half decent little pose if I wanted to. And actually, you can just unlock the leg if you wanted to get into a slightly different pose and manoeuvre around it, so it's not too bad. But yeah, is it worth 35 quid? Probably not, but you know what, it's a decent little figure, and it's not as bad as what people say. Prime versus Prime destroyed this figure when he did his review, and yeah, it's not as good as some of the Transformers that we've had out there, but actually it ain't bad. It's a nice looking toy. Yeah, maybe wait till he drops a little bit in clearance, which I think will happen, but it's nice to have this Megatron. So I went to a couple of car boots a weekend, mainly because lad who I know, Greg, was having a stall, and he always messages me when he's selling some Transformers. And yeah, I went up there to a car boot I've never been to before, because last week I went to meet him at a car boot and I went to the wrong bloody one. So I went to this one over Litchfield and then went to my regular one on the way back, which is literally on the way back. No diversion at all, it was literally, instead of going straight on the roundabout, turn into a second car boot. And I got some stuff, I got some pretty good stuff. Saw Greg's stall, he had some cool stuff on there actually. He had a third party Cinetwin for like 30 quid, I think it was, an EVAC he had on there. He had the main part to a deluxe Armada Prime, and I picked up a load of bits from him. I picked up a bag of connector bots for Oliver. So we've got a Slash in here, which is near enough complete. There is a Megatron, which is missing a few pieces. And also a Slug, which is missing a few pieces. But Oliver's enjoyed like putting them together, so I think they were a couple of quid. In that as well, I found this. I don't know if it was meant to be in there, Greg, but I found a Veercon from Transformers Prime missing the wings, but you know what, a pretty cool thing to find. I've got this. I've seen a lot of these lately actually. I saw one of these at the Walsall Toy Fair the other week. He also gifted me a Megatron for Oliver, a bot shot one, which is pretty cool. I do like these bot shots. They are pretty cool things. And he gave me this curse thing. I'm going to put it in alt mode first. So it's definitely missing a piece. It's missing a part of, it looks like a cement mixer, but I think there was meant to be a cover over this part. But when you transform him, it becomes the most cursed, evil bumblebee thing you will ever see in your life. And it's got some sounds and lights. And it goes on a bit as well, but isn't that just the most bizarre thing? It's like half Transformers. Okay, shut up now. Half Super Wings kind of thing. It's really bizarre and it's really cursed. And I asked him how much it was because he just gave it me, and you know what, I thought, you know what, it's wonderful. So cheers, Craig. It's wonderful and terrible at the same time. I also picked up from him for £1 a KO Bumblebee done in red. I think this is from Age of Extinction. Build quality on it isn't too bad. It is a bit thinner plastic. You can tell it's quite light and cheap. But actually, you know, it's not too bad. The car mode's actually really nice, to be fair. It looks really good. Limited articulation, nothing too crazy on it, but for a quid, that's pretty awesome, yeah. So I picked up that KO. There's a little bit of a story of KOs today, actually. What else did I have off him? Picked up, I think this is Skyblast from Energon. He's missing his canopy at the back. But he's got these wings and the main staff part, and of course this Energon thing, whatever they're called. He is a bit yellowed. He was a quid, and the main reason I picked him up is for the accessory parts. I'll probably have a look to find just a main figure somewhere to complete him off. I think he is missing one of the weapon parts, Greg said, but for a quid you can't moan. That's pretty awesome. I also picked up from him this part here. If anyone wants it, it's for Optimus Prime, I think, from Cyberverse. If anyone needs it, give us a shout. I'll just pass it on to someone who wants it. Also picked up this, which is a Star Wars crossover. I think this is Luke. It is the Snowspeeder, missing its guns, missing an arm, missing the figure. But for a quid, I thought, why the hell bloody not? And I also picked up this Star Wars figure. So I picked up Shai-Chi Tin, I think it is. This is a Star Wars crossover Transformer. It is missing its second lightsaber and the little figure that normally goes inside. But this was a £5. It's really quite nice. In alt mode it looks fantastic. Yeah, these were very odd things, weren't they? Actually, both of them were really odd things. I think I had the X-Wing, which is now broken, which I might try and complete again, actually. But yeah, I might be picking up a few of these because I do like Star Wars, and these are relatively cheap. They're not a lot of money on mine. And the alt modes are pretty cool as well. So yeah, I picked up him, her, I don't know what it is to be honest, but they were a £5, so that was pretty cool as well. I found a turtle for £1. I found Leonardo here. I picked up Donatello a couple of weeks ago, missing his belt, but I've actually got his weapons here. I found a tin of stuff from when I was a kid, so I've got Leonardo's weapons, just missing his belt. Maybe I can get some repo ones or something like that. But I kind of want to pick up the original Turtles now, like even if they're missing the belts and that, I'm halfway there. So yeah, happy I picked up that. Then I found this on a stall at the second car boot. There was not a lot there. I picked up a Skylander for Oliver. And on the last store there was this and another figure, and I bought this because it was just £1. It looks kind of like a Seeker-esque Transformer. It's not a Transformer, but you know what I mean. It's a robot that transforms. If I can remember how it goes, something along the lines of this. There we go. So yeah, it turns into this jet, which is pretty cool. It's not a bad little transformation. It's a bit chunky. No idea what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I picked up that. That was £1. And the final thing I picked up, and I'm happy to find this because actually I did want it, but I didn't want to pay. I think it's about 20 odd quid when I was seeing it in places. It's Transformers Cyberverse. I think this is Ultra. Is it Ultra Class Hot Rod? This was £1, and I was well chuffed. It was in car mode when I bought it, and I thought, oh well, doesn't matter. It's missing his accessory, and his accessory actually stores inside. I think there is a way that we can trigger his gimmick in here. God knows how they do it. Yeah, like that. So yeah, it's got this cyber armor thing, as all of these do. But you know what? He's all right. He's not bad. I've got the Cyberverse main figure and the one step of him. So yeah, it's just nice to get this. He is a brick, but it's a brick that looks pretty good. Not a lot of articulation, but for £1, yeah, and I'm not as big a hot rod collector as Shooty is, but it's nice to get a mould. I haven't got 2 hot rods in a week. Never too bad, is it? But yeah, I thought that wasn't bad, and I think that was the find of the day for me for £1. But yeah, some pretty awesome stuff. Nice to actually find some cool Transformers stuff at a car boot, and I might pop there again next week. So today is Wednesday the 20th of September, and I've just had the postman bring a parcel to me. A soggy parcel. It's an eBay purchase. I can tell it's an eBay purchase because it's got eBay written on the label. But I don't know what this is. I think this is it could be one of 2 things I've ordered. I think this might be another set of Armada Minicons, but we will see. I think it is actually. It's gonna be, yes it is. Right, I saw this set online on eBay. That box is completely sodden and destroyed. But yeah, I saw this for, I think it was £20 plus postage, and I made an offer of 14, and they accepted it. Now eBay have changed the thing now where you make an offer, you have to put your payment details in advance. So if they accept the offer, then it's automatically paid for, which funnily enough hasn't happened for me yet because I'm still waiting for someone to pay one of my items. But anyway, I digress. This is another set of Armada Minicons. You might recognise them in a slightly different colour because this is another set of the Sky Boom Shield. I believe this is the set that Mr. Luffy had or has. And yeah, I really like these weaponry combining Minicons. It's given me something to collect anyway. But yeah, we've got the same moulds as the Sky Boom Shield that I think I showed you in the last week in Toys, or the week before. And now I've got another set. Set in played with condition, but they look really decent, to be honest with you. Let me try and remember how we combine these up. think we go like that, then like that. This one opens up like so, and that one connects in there. Those open up as well, don't they? And this is what happens sometimes when you do these. Flip that part out, put the wings out. Yeah, and then that part does go on there, like so. And then this figure goes on there like that. And we have another Skyboom shield for my collection. Never had this toy before, and now in the space of a month I've got it twice. I really, really want to try and complete these like Minicon figures that I've got. I'm not going to go for the very rare ones, but it's quite nice to pick these up in different colours. And I think this cost about 18 quid in total, which ain't too bad. I'm going to use old Detroitus here to hold him so I can show you how it works. Yeah, there we go. Skyboom shield. Number 2, the repaint, forget what they're called. But yeah, picked up that, just shy of 20 quid. These were about 30-35 at TFN, so I'm really happy to have that set. Pretty awesome. I've received a couple of parcels, one from Hasbro Pulse and one from Indaband Toys, and I've got another couple of parcels on the way over the next few days. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the one item that I got from PulseCon, and then I'm going to leave it here for this week in toys, and we'll pick it up next week, shall we? But the item I got today was the exclusive. It was the Transformers Legacy Evolution Armada Power Links Hot Shot and Jolt even. And yeah, I wanted to get this. £45 was a lot of money, but it was this year's exclusive. Now you could argue the War Dawn 2-pack was another exclusive, but this was the one that was released on PulseCon. And I love the original Armada toy. I really enjoyed the Legacy version of it. It just was missing Jolt. And the main driver for this is Jolt. And we'll get to him in a minute, but we have got Hotshot here, who is pretty cool. He has got more issues. There is mould degradation here. The shoulder issue, where these don't really tab in place, is worse on him. His visor is very, very loose, like literally just slightest touch, it will fall down. And also, you do get these 2 new sculpted guns, which is pretty nice, and they do hold to a certain extent, as you can see, and this is one of the problems with it. They will hold up, but if you shake them, they will come down. But the problem is you do get 2 lots of these blast effects with him as well, and you pop them on there where they should go, and yeah, there's no way he's holding that weight. I'm thinking about if there is a way to tighten this up, and I do believe there is. By opening up his chest, you can see the problem here is these mushroom pegs not being tight enough. They're not terrible, but they just can't hold the weight. So I'm thinking, could I maybe put something in there, make that mushroom peg a little bit tighter? You can see this is flapping about all over the shop. But yeah, it's a decent looking figure. The alt mode's really cool. I like the original mould of this. This is just slightly worse. As I say, you do get these 2 guns. They're meant to clip in the back as well, but mine won't hold there for whatever reason. I do like the blast effects in here. I think that's a pretty good display option, which I will be doing. Yeah, but he's alright. He does come with this standard blast. I think was silver on the original one. My one had a bit of paint missing, and you could see the yellow plastic sticking through in it. And rather than paint it, because it was such a little fine line, I just put a bit of Sharpie on it, and you can't tell at all, even close up, that I've done that. But yeah, even with the extra parts, this doesn't feel premium. This set, yes, I know we got blast effects, 2 lots of them, because you do get 2. Yes, I know we got the 2 guns. Yes, I know we got the Minicon. But it feels probably about £10 too much, to be honest with you, especially with the build quality. Or maybe it needed a little bit more paint on the legs, or it needed a little bit more. Now, the star of the set is Jolt. He is lovely. He has articulated elbows, which is something that the Studio Series 86 Rumble and Frenzy don't have. But he is just a lovely, lovely little Minicon. I'll transform him for you now. Transformation is very similar to the original, but oh, his legs just popped up. That's the first time he's done that, in fairness. It's actually got heel spurs as well. Check that out for a little figure having heel spurs. That was actually the first time his legs popped off, so I won't say this has got poor build quality or anything like that, because it hasn't. It feels pretty solid. Let me move these bits round and move this arm round, and there we go. That's a Minis helicopter mode. It's pretty awesome. Doesn't have the Minicon ports, but it does have a post here that you can post onto Hotshot's shoulder or into his hands or whatever it might be. But yeah, it's a lovely little Minicon. It's a star of the set. It's just a shame you have to buy a £45 set to get something that really, in fairness, if you'd have put Hotshot up to Voyager standard and stuck this in there, people would have paid it. And I think this is the issue. This is probably a Voyager price point set, taking out the blast effects and the guns. But yeah, it's okay. I'm happy I've got it. It's just the build quality on Hotshot isn't quite there. And that's it for this week in toys. I hope you've enjoyed this little video anyway. I will try and get another video out next week. I know this one has been a little bit delayed, but I've got some Studio Series 86, some other Studio Series stuff, and hopefully, if they finally arrive, some Robots in Disguise stuff on the way. But anyway, until next time, I've been Zork Rider, and I'll catch you again really, really soon.